Hello everyone, this is Done, back with the next progress report on the Corsair. Alright, I mentioned in my last video that I bought a battery. Well, the battery came in Thursday, I believe. Yeah, Thursday? Yeah, I think it was Thursday. But anyway, this is the one I got. This is a lithium iron, LIFE. And it's got a little cell tester here on the top, which says it's like 90%. But it says in the ad on eBay that it's 3 pounds. So let's find out what it weighs. Okay, the 00, we're going to put it in. It's in pounds right now. It says it was 3 pounds. 2.88 pounds. Believe that? Thing weighs nothing. Don't even feel like a battery. So the old one, the scale only reads to 11 pounds. So the old one will max it out because it's going to be at least 13 pounds. So I'm looking at, 11 pounds savings, maybe 12. So yesterday I had to go get some glue. So I found this at Lowe's. It's the only 2-part epoxy they had in any kind of quantity. And that was $23 just for that. And it's only a 5-minute, which I'm not too crazy about. When I'm trying to glue stuff up, I'd like a little more time. That stuff's kind of made for small little projects. But so what I did do, I mentioned I was going to be working on the seat with the saw here, and this is what I did. There's the old seat. That's the back side. That's the top where it was the little seat rest on the top. This is the back edge if you can't see. And then those notches are where it was glued to the rear spar, and then that was glued down into the bottom. So when you looked at in the plane, you saw that. Alright, so I've been working on this yesterday and today. I gotta get my box out here. Give me something to stand on. Turn my light back on. Now you can see why I want to make this seat removable. Because there's a flap motor, flaps, linear actuator for the flaps, and there's a hydraulic system for the main gear. There's a solenoid valve, one's for up and one's for down. And then it also gives me access to these push-pull tubes here for the elevator stick, so I can get down into the control rod ends down in there. This is the transfer bell crank. It transfers the motions from push to a pull and pull to a push. Then it goes back to an idler, which is the next one you see right back here. That's the idler. And that just keeps it so you don't use one long tube to go all the way back. So there's 3 tubes. The biggest one's back there, the intermediate one, and then the front one starts at the bottom of the stick up in here, like so. You can just see the rod end down in there. So I had to pull the switch panel out of place to get access to it. And then I mentioned relocating the seat belts, anchors, so there they are. They're all done. I finished that up today. Yesterday I cut up the wooden blocks. There's a block in here, block in there. Again, folks, I hate these trouble lights. So there's a block, it's 2 inches wide, comes down into here. And then this block one is the triangles all the way down to the floor. So both sides identical, left and right. And then the belt loops onto this. And then that'll come up over top my hips. Alright, and the next thing was the spar has a natural curve in it from when it was made, so I had to fill it in. This is originally designed to do this in the prints. Then you put a little piece of aluminum or stainless across here, so when you step into plane you can actually step on the spar here and have a flat spot. Well, I never bothered putting them in, so I put them in this now because, get this back up here, I'm going to put a piano hinge across here, and then I'm going to get a piece of aluminum for the seat back that'll mount to that piano hinge, and then somewhere up here somehow I'll make it, this is a real thin piece of it. This is only like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch thick, so it's not very strong. You can see it flexes. So I may add a bigger chunk in here because I took all this out. It was clear, seat was clear up into here, folks. So it was all the way into there, back to here. So I took all that out. So I may put another piece in there, maybe around it. But there's going to be an aluminum sheet that comes down, have some kind of attach point here. And then you can unhook it here, fold it forward, and voila, have access to everything. And then this is the relays for the flaps up and down, and they were attached to the back of the seat. So you can see why it'd be nice to have this access. There's the new tail wheel cable, there's the rudder cables, and the lines that go out to the cylinders, and then this is just a junction for powers and grounds and these solenoids to make the thing go uppy and downy, and then those two relays are for that's what energizes these and turns the motor on. It reverses the power of the motor through those relays. So that's what I've been up to all day. The seat, this was the seat back right here. You can see the plywood edge there. So I got in there with the saw, and just cut right off so it was smooth. This was an add-in piece just for the seat to set against, but I'm not going to be using that. The seat's going to attach again from here down. It may bend up around somewhere here. I may fill that in so I can attach it in there on each side. I still haven't got that far yet, but today I glued these in. So I do have a piece of piano hinge that I can use to attach to here, and then seat back. And then what I plan on doing here for this floor, I'm just going to take a piece of that 16th inch aluminum that I used to make the oil tank with, and I'm going to cut a strip so it comes up into here, just enough past this. This is the original seat here, that piece of plywood. That's where, because that plywood goes all the way down into this piece of thin plywood on the floor, on the belly of the plane. So I'm just going to put a piece of aluminum, come all the way over to here underneath. I'll pull this conduit up, a piece of nylon that I got a bunch of wires running. I'll pick that up, slide it under there, and it'll just come up far enough. What I'm looking to do is close off, see if I can do this and see, a big gap under the spar. Every time you drop something, the seat was here, but every time you drop something, it would always fall back here. It would always fall back into here, and you have to reach back through here, fiddle around to find it. So I'm going to close this thing off, so anytime I drop anything, it won't want to fall back here. And you're still going to be kind of sitting mostly here. My back will be here. But I can slip back here a lot farther, and a thin piece of aluminum, 16th inch aluminum there, just close up this hole so nothing can keep falling back in there. It's always been a royal pain every time you drop any seatbelts slide back in there. You know, its anchor was anchored here. Those are the original brackets for the seatbelt attach points. So now they're up there, and that will come up over and hold you down. So that's kind of all I got done. Doesn't look like a lot, but trust me, that took all day yesterday and half a day today. I just glued those in a couple hours ago. And this stuff sets in 5 minutes, supposed to be cured in an hour. So this is already set up, and it's only been maybe over half an hour is all. I just took the dog for his walk, so it's been at least half an hour. So all I need to do now is probably reinforce this a little bit, put a little bit of shrink back in there, and then decide. I may go all the way across with the seat. It can't be too wide, otherwise it won't fold forward. But if I ever have to take it out, it's just a matter of pulling the screws out like I do for this seat up here. The piece of plywood in the front, that one there, it's going to be just like that. So actually the hinge I have is aircraft aluminum hinge. That one was a steel one, just a plated steel one. It might be a stronger option to put a steel one on here. An aluminum one can go up there. But either way, so let me see if I can shut this light off. Come on. The switch is bad. There we go. Alright, so that's all I got done today. I did come up here and lightly sand this down. It's nice and cured and it's sanded nice and smooth, so it just needs cleaned up and then that'll be ready to paint. Again, just gotta mount the computer under here, paint that up, I can throw the tank on, hook it all up and it'll be ready to run. And that battery is actually smaller than this one. It's a little shorter. It comes with some foam blocks that stick to the sides of it to make it the same width. Then it came, because this thing's about an inch taller than that one, which I have room up here. Sorry, up here for it to come down more. When I pull this out, I'll see how it fits. But I can put, there's 2 blocks, each one maybe a ½ inch thick. They just snap into the bottom of the battery and it'll still sit here. And then there's a couple pieces of styrofoam, not styrofoam, just really dense foam, rubber type, with some sticker backing on it, so that would go on each side there. And then there's the 2 pieces. You can do one or both on the bottom of the battery to bring it up, and it locks into them holes on the corner. There's little pegs there you can see sticking up, so that can literally snap on there and stick these on there, and it should still fit in the box. But I don't need it to stick out that far. If it sticks out this far, it's fine. So those seatbelt anchors are like I used before on the cowling. Those I had one left. They're called T-nuts. They're round with the 3 burrs on them. That, yeah, right here we go. These guys. So those are in the back side of those blocks of wood. I drilled them through to match the steel, and then had to drill them out 1/4 inch for these to press in. And the ones I got are longer. They have a longer threaded portion. And then I used a 3/4 inch Forstner type bit to counterbore it enough so when these went in, they were flush, because that plywood had to, or that blocks had to be flush with the skin of the fuselage here. So they're flush so they wouldn't stick out and hold out. So they're all done, and them Allen wrench socket head cap screws screw in and bolt it, so it's glued all the way around, and the extra plywood in there, so that should do fine. So I guess that's going to probably do it for today. This is what, 2.5 minutes to go before this thing wants to shut off and restart. So anyway, I just wanted to give you the gist of what's going on. This stuff should all be set up tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll get out here and figure out what I want to do with that aluminum, and then I'll have to run uptown and get a piece of aluminum, see what they got. And these batteries are pretty neat. So it's got 4 points you can bolt to, just plastic little caps. So you got 4 of them, 2 positive and 2 negatives. So that's neat. So I can put like the main battery cable from here to the firewall, which sends power into the plane and also jumps power to the starter. And the other one can hook right up to the alternator. Output of the alternator can hook up to the other lug. And then I only need 1 ground. But same thing, the ground goes from there to the firewall for a pass-through, and then it also has a short jumper from the firewall to the motor block. So I could actually run this right to the motor, run that to the alternator, run these 2 to the firewall, and voila. Alright folks, I guess that's going to do her. I can't weigh the big battery on this because, like I said, it's only 11 pounds. Maybe I'll take it in and put it on my bathroom scale. It's probably a little better than that old one. It's a digital scale, and I'll see exactly. But there's over 10 pounds weight saving with that battery. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for this video update. I'll try and get some of this stuff finished up for Tuesday's video. So otherwise, as always, appreciate everybody taking the time to watch these videos. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns. Appreciate the ones you guys leave now, and as always, don't be afraid to leave any comments. So I guess that's going to do her, and I will catch you guys again more than likely Tuesday. Alright everyone, that's going to do her. I will see you again Tuesday, and again, thanks for watching, and this is Down and Don out.